platform.
All right.
Um,
And what about if someone tries to make their own like graphic API or their own engine? Like, what are the ways you
but I mean,
suggest,
if you want to
architectures, whatever?
make your own graphic API, you should join the Web GPU gang. Um, yeah, so that's the current party going on. Um, if you want to make your own engine, you have to have a good reason to do it. I guess there in the community of graphics programmers, a lot of people do shit on Unreal for being huge, complex, taking a long time to compile, and absolutely a nightmare if you want to actually get anything done in your own in your own way or scalable. So yeah, I mean, the Unreal doesn't have a lot of love in that circles. Um, but but if you, for example, wanted to make something that would be difficult to make in Unreal, or for example, if you didn't want to have your whole app or your whole thing be a plugin in Unreal, because we should remember that Unreal is an engine, it's not an SDK really. So Unreal is not for embedding in another application, and so isn't Unity. So unless you want to, go digging through heaps of code to make it embeddable, or basically rewrite your, if you already have something, write your application as a whole bunch of Unreal plugins, which kind of all then have to be kind of fold somehow into the editor and get built and packaged by the editor to make a release. Or for example, the same problem you have in Godot, and actually the problem in Godot is actually much bigger, because then you have to write the whole thing in Godot script or whatever they use down there. At least in Unreal you can write your plugins in C++, um, and in Unity and C Sharp. Yeah, so if you wanted to make something that isn't just supposed to be a plugin and run inside of the editor, get booted up by the editor and kind of package as the engine runs your code, not your code runs the engine. If you want your code to run the engine, then and you've got a good reason for that, that's kind of the place where you'd want to consider making your own engine. And I mean, if you're not making a first-person shooter, if you're not making a point-and-click adventure, if you're not making, I don't know, if you're not making a strategy game, for example, because I think strategy games are absolutely fine to make in Unity. But if you're making something that really falls outside of that scope, then that's the time to make your own engine. If you're making a flight simulator, I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator could have been done in Unreal, right? If you're making something that requires a lot of streaming of assets, um, and if you for example were to make an MMO, then that would most probably not be well served by the current engines. If you, for example, wanted to make an application which is not a game, or if you want to make a complex web application which kind of integrates with a whole bunch of other stuff, then that most probably wouldn't be the place to use Unreal or Unity. Or, for example, if you only wanted to make something that renders, right? Then that's maybe not the place to use Unreal or Unity. Um, and so far we've always been in those two categories. It might change, uh, but yeah, I mean, if you basically have something that requires massive worlds or doesn't use big parts of Unreal that or Unity that take a lot of resources from your system, uh, if you are, for example, focusing tightly on a single platform, then that's probably where it would make a lot of sense to have your own engine.
All right.